Hey darling, Danetha here. I am a financial psychologist, money mystic, as well as the creator of Money Mimosas. In today's money mindset video, I'm going to be talking about the art of receiving. All right, so this video is for you if you feel that you have worked your butt off and are still not seeing the progress that you'd like to see in your financial life. Perhaps you've gotten sucked into the hustle and grind uh, aspects of our society, and you've been hustling and you've been grinding and you just don't feel like you're making the progress that should be commensurate with the amount of effort and work that you've put in. This is also for you if you identify as a Black woman like I do. We have been conditioned to be mules and workhorses, and perhaps you're feeling burnt out from that identity and you're realizing that it's not working for you anymore. Now, there are a lot of reasons why someone, you may be one of them, identify with the hustle and grind aspects of life or being the mule, being the workhorse. All of that is for another video. My intention with this video is once you realize that you do identify with those traits and they're no longer serving you, now what do you do with that? So you're aware that something's not working, something's got to give, and you're ready to exhale. So, the first step is to acknowledge that on some level, whether it's conscious, subconscious, unconscious, perhaps all three, uh, there is an addiction to the struggle. For some of you, it may be an addiction to poverty. And that's not to say that people who are impoverished choose that or they are somehow terrible people because they're in that financial situation. That is not what I'm saying in this video. In these videos, my intention is to give you the tools to take back your power. And taking back our power means taking responsibility for every aspect in our life, even if it does even if our situation may be because of systemic injustice, wrong situations that were out of our control. Taking back our power is realizing where in that is our responsibility. And so, what I'm attempting to highlight for you is that there is likely an addiction to struggle, an addiction to poverty. There is a codependent relationship with that. It has served you in some way, shape, or form. And acknowledging that, becoming aware of that, is the first step to then unpacking, unlearning that, and moving on to learning some new ways of being around money so that you can be in the flow of abundance and start practicing the art of receiving. Once you have that awareness that there's some sort of codependent, addictive relationship with poverty, with the struggle, then the next step is to unpack why it's there so that you can release it and make room for your ability to receive. The reason why you're not in the flow of abundance and not able to practice the art of receiving is because you're blocked. There's literally an energetic block that is preventing the flow of abundance, the art, the ability to receive from being able to reach you. And that block is that codependent relationship with the struggle, with poverty, whatever name you want to put to it. And so once you're aware that that block is there, now you can start to unpack the reasons for why it's there and release it. And once you release it, then you create space for a new way of being and a new way of engaging with money and being able to elevate your financial health. So, how do you do that? Well, the second step is to honor the reason for why that block is there, because that block wasn't always a block. For many of us, that block actually served us for a really long time. It got us to where we are today. It gave us resilience, it gave us grit, it gave us ingenuity, creativity. And while that worked up until this point, it's no longer going to work. I remember a quote from one of my mentors. They said, the tools that got you through surviving are not the tools you'll need to thrive. The tools that got you through surviving are not the tools you need to thrive. And so that was a tool that helped you survive, but now you're ready to thrive. So once you become aware that there's that block, now it's about honoring the block for what it is, because it wasn't always a block. It helped you get to where you are now. And the way I like to do this is writing a letter to the block. If you are someone who loves to sing, perhaps you write a song. Maybe you're a poet, you write a poem, and it's addressing that block, which is the codependent, addictive relationship you have with struggle, with poverty, and thanking it for all the lessons it taught you, for all the skills it gave you. Honor it for what it's done for you up until this point. And then at the towards the end of that letter, let it go. Tell it goodbye. Let it know why you have to move on now. That this relationship is no longer serving you, and you're ready to move on to new lessons and to learn new skills and to gather more tools to help you be able to thrive. After you write that letter, you may want to burn it, or you can keep it. I like to burn mine, uh, but it's up to you, whatever process you have for releasing something. The point is that you want to release it now. You've let it go, and it's time to move on. And then once you do that, the third step is to recognize that there's now space for you to receive abundance and to learn new skills, new tools. And I'm going to share a couple of ways for you to now fill this space with new tools. I'll start with an esoteric tool. The first one is to visualize the word ease. So you can go ahead and close your eyes and visualize the word ease. What comes up for you? What colors do you see? Maybe it's rose, maybe it's rose gold, maybe it's lavender, blues. What colors come to you when you think of the word ease? And then you want to close your eyes and meditate on that word. And I like to do the 4 breath meditation, and I'll do it with you so we can do it together. And this is where I'll go ahead and close my eyes with you as we meditate on the word ease, and we're visualizing the colors that are associated with ease, how it feels in our body. Perhaps you feel your jaw unclench, your shoulders relax. Maybe you let your stomach hang loose instead of all uptight. Maybe you just let yourself relax like a rag doll. And you're meditating on the word ease. And let's take some deep breaths as we meditate on that word. And I'll talk through it before we do it together. So you want to inhale for 4, and then we'll hold for 4, and then we'll exhale for 4, and then we'll hold for 4 before starting over again. So let's do that together. Inhale for 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold the breath for 4. 3, 2, 1. Then exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then hold for 4, 3, 2, 1. And you can keep doing that as long as you like. You can pause the video, you can rewind the video, but use that as a tool so that you can start to feel in your body what ease feels like and start to make that association with money. And now for a practical tool or a pragmatic tool. I believe esoteric tools are pragmatic, but I know some of you want some more practical tools that you can start implementing to practice the art of receiving. And when you start to first practice the art of receiving, you want to start small and start with ways that may not be associated with money. Perhaps it's receiving a compliment without feeling the urge to give a compliment back, or without feeling the urge to dismiss the compliment. So let's say someone's like, "Oh, I love that dress that you're wearing." You say, "Oh, oh, this old thing, I've had it for years. Instead, say, take a deep breath, say thank you, and move on. You don't have to feel the need to dismiss it. You don't have to feel the need to turn around and say, oh my gosh, I love your dress too. Even if you do love the other person's dress, right now we are practicing receiving without feeling the need to give as well, because that's what you've been doing this whole time. When you're being the mule, when you're hustling, grinding, you're always giving, 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 and not learning how to receive. And so that's what we're practicing. So it may be a compliment, it may be in the bedroom where you don't give back, you just receive, and you can picture whatever that means for you. And you're likely going to feel feelings of guilt. And that's okay. Let them bubble up, reflect on it later, why those feelings of guilt came up. And over time, that feeling of guilt will start to subside because you'll realize that by practicing the art of receiving, what you're actually doing is filling your cup. And once your cup runneth over, then you can give without feeling like you're depleting yourself. And that is it for today's video. I hope it was helpful for you. If you'd like more tips like this, head on over to moneymimosas.com. While you're there, be sure to check out the Money Makers, which is the paid membership program where I share more practical and spiritual tips like this for those of you who want to continue to elevate your financial health. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.